Hi, if this is your first time here, welcome to my YouTube channel. Or if you're like me and you've been here before, welcome back. I'm Chaotic Curl, and well, before we get started on anything that we're going to be doing in this week's video, please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and of course don't forget to follow me over on TikTok and on Instagram at chaoticcurl_crafts, where you'll be able to see pictures of this week's project as well as previous projects that I've made. So I'll see you guys over there. Okay, now before we get into this week's video, I have been struggling. I don't actually know what I want to make. Well, I do know what I want to make, but there's just so many things that I want to make that I don't know where to start. So since I can't decide where to start, I figured I would start with something that I've never made before. So what I'm actually going to do is just make a simple mesh bolero, which is just going to be one long chain from one side of my body to the other, and then I'll just crochet it until I get to the length and the size that I want, and then basically just go from there. So that's what I'm gonna do, and I feel like it would be super cute for the summer, especially after the capelet that I previously crocheted. So I have my 5.5mm hook right here, and I also have some brown yarn. This is the Crafter's Secret yarn that I got from Hobby Lobby so many months ago when I made the teddy bear cardigan, which I'll make sure to link in the description box below so you guys can check that out if you want to check that video out. But I'm going to be using this yarn so that I have a very pretty brown bolero. So yeah, we're just going to get started on that. I'm just going to make a chain that's going to be the length of my body, so from wrist to wrist. And then I'll make sure I'll count them so that way I'm sure that it's gonna work out. But I'm gonna be doing it with the treble crochet, so not the double crochet, but the treble. So I'm gonna get started on my chain, and once I'm ready to get started on my stitches, I'll come back and I'll show you guys what that looks like, and then we'll get to work from there. It's gonna be a super easy pattern, so I am hoping that it works up quickly so I can start using it quickly, but also so I can finish it quickly, because I'm finding that that seems to be an issue that I'm having with a lot of the projects I'm making lately, where they're just taking me a long time to finish, so I get bored and then I don't want to make it anymore. So hopefully this bolero will be the start of something new, and I'll be able to find another quick top pattern that I can make after this one to get the momentum going. But like I said, we're gonna start working on that chain, and I'll come back and show you guys how to do the treble crochet. So see you guys in a minute. Okay, so I have my chain, which is long enough to go from, well, across my body. So I'm ready. I made sure to count them, and I have 160 chains here. So I'm going to do my treble crochet stitch, and the way I'm going to do the mesh is I'm going to do the treble crochet, 2 chains in between, and then another treble crochet. So 160, thankfully it is a multiple of 4, so it should definitely work out with the chains that I already have without having to add any extra chains. I'll let you guys know if I do need to add any extra chains once I finish it. I'm not going to undo it. I'm just going to add the chains using the tail. But of course, if I do need to add anything, I'll let you guys know what I needed to add and how many, so you guys can get the right count. But this is what I've got. And now I'm actually going to turn the camera around so I can show you guys how to do that treble crochet stitch. Okay, so to get started, I'm going to do the stacked single crochet for my first stitch. So this is going to count as my first treble. So I do it the same way as when I'm doing a regular double crochet. So I'm going to start off with my single crochet, in the back leg of that single crochet, we're just going to go into it, yarn over, pull through, 2 loops, go through those 2, that's another single crochet. And since we're doing the treble crochet, we do a 3rd one on the top. And now, like I said, I want 2 chain stitches since we are doing mesh, so we're going to skip 2 stitches from the bottom, and then I'm going to wrap my yarn around twice. So you should have 3 loops on your hook, and then you're just going to go into that 4th stitch, yarn over, pull through, Now you have 4 loops. Now you're going to yarn over, pull through 2. Again, 3 loops, yarn over, pull through 2. Now you have those 2 loops, you yarn over, pull through those 2, and you're good to go. And I'll just do it one more time for you guys. We're going to chain 2, and then I'm going to skip those 2, yarn over twice, and again, 1, 2, so in that 4th stitch, yarn over, pull through. Like I said, we have the 4 loops, yarn over again, pull through 2, 3 loops left, so you yarn over, pull through 2, and then those last 2 loops, yarn over, pull through, and that's how you do a treble crochet. So it's like 1, 2, 3. It's like 3 single crochets on top of the other, so it's just one bigger than a double crochet. But from here, I'm just going to continue down the rest of the row. And like I said, at the end, I'm hoping to just end with a treble crochet. But if not, then I'll show you guys how I add the additional stitches so I can end properly. But yeah, this is what I'm going to be doing. And hopefully it's something I can work up quickly, because I do want a quick project to kind of motivate me to continue with the other projects I have going on. So I'm just going to continue from here, and I'll show you guys what this first row looks like once it's done. Okay, so I finished the first row, all done, and thankfully, like I said, with doing it with the multiple of 4, the 160, it worked out, so I didn't have to add any additional chain stitches. As you can see, I have all of my trebles completed, and I just started my second row. So from here, I'm literally just going to be crocheting, continuing with the same treble crochet mesh of a treble crochet, 2 chain stitches, and then another treble crochet until I get to, well, I'm gonna build it up like this. So I want it to be all one piece, so I'm just gonna build it up. Maybe I'll check 5 rows, I'll come back and let you guys see what it's looking like and decide from there. But I'm saying maybe 5 rows, and then I'll make an opening for the neckline, and then I'll just continue with the back. So that way all I'm basically doing is just treble crocheting everything together to seam it, and I don't have to sew anything. But yeah, I'm just gonna keep going here, continue with my mesh stitch until, like I said, until I'm 5 rows in, and then I'll show you guys what it's looking like, and we'll decide what to do with the neckline. But this is what we've got so far, and I'll see you guys in the next update. Okay, so I made it to 5 rows of the mesh, and this is what it's looking like. They're looking like big, beautiful squares. I actually really like it. So I'm going to do a couple more rows. Yeah, I'm gonna do a couple more rows before I split off for the neck. I think I'll do 2 more just so that I'm at 7. Then I'll split off for the neck, which is basically I'll just work up the row, and then instead of doing the treble crochets, I'll just do a chain stitch across the space and then continue on the other side and just continue that way. And then, yeah, well, I'll show you guys what it looks like once I get to the neck part. But yeah, I'm just gonna add 2 more rows and then I'll do that split. But this is what I've got so far. It's really cute. Okay, so I made it to 7 rows. So now I'm gonna work on the 8th row, which is where I'm going to include the space for the neckline. So what I'm actually gonna do for this one is I'm going to work 6 instead of a treble. So I'm gonna build it up to be so that the treble crochet, instead of it having 3, it's gonna be 6 tall. So for my, for my stacked single crochet, I'm gonna go up to 6 single crochets stacked on top of each other. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And we're still gonna do the chain 2 in the middle. And now for here, in case you get confused, you can build the crochet, the stitch, up however many you want. So like in this example, it's 3 and I'm gonna do 6. So what you would do is yarn over 5 times. So that way I end up with 6 stitches in the, well, end up with 6 or 6 high in the stitch. But it's, I already have 1 here. So then that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which when you stop counting the one that's actually on the hook, the additional ones you're adding is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now from here, we'll work it like we would regularly. So we're gonna yarn over, pull through, and then yarn over and pull through 2 until I complete the stitch. And there it is. And then we just chain 2, and again 3, 4, 5 through the stitch, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2, and continue that way until you make it to the top of the stitch. And I'm going to continue this way until I make it to where I want the neckline to be. And as you can see, I'm hot. So I'm actually gonna take a break from crocheting for right now. And most likely I'll come back tomorrow. But for you guys, it'll just be a couple of minutes. So if my hair and my outfit are different, that's why. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next clip. Okay, so I'm back. And it's the same day, but I'm back. And so I'm actually just gonna hold it against myself because I need to mark where I'm gonna leave the opening for the neckline. So I'll do, just get a good look, the middle of my shoulder. Okay, so I'm gonna do here and here. So I'm gonna mark it now. And yeah, I'll just crochet up to these points, and then I'll make the chain this many stitches long, and I'll continue crocheting from there. So I'll come back and show you guys once I get to this stitch. Hi, so it's the next day. It is dragging on a little bit for this project, but we finally made it to the neck portion. So I did make sure to count the number of stitches between the safety pins that I have, and I have 48 stitches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to chain 48, and then I'll go ahead and just reattach at the safety pin and continue with the stitch that I'm doing for the shoulder slash neck portion. And then from there, I'll just continue with the regular trebles until I finish the project. So I'll definitely show you guys what it looks like once I reattach the yarn after making the chains. And of course, I'll check in again before I finish everything, and then once everything's done. But this is where we are right now. Okay, so I made it to row 7. As you can see, I have my neck hole and my other side as well. So I have both sides completed. So what I'm gonna do now as my last row, technically my last row, I'm gonna do the same thing that I did for the shoulder and neckline, where I'm gonna build the stitch up to 6, and I'm gonna do it on this side. I'm also gonna do it on this other side, and then I'm just gonna leave the space, which I already marked off, but I'm just gonna leave the space for my chest to go through for me to be able to put it on, and yeah, then I'll be done. So that's what you guys are gonna be seeing in the next clips. I'm just gonna be adding, again, this much, well, you can't even see it, this much longer stitch here that we did earlier, and like I said, I'm gonna add it on both sides so that way I can then stitch everything together. And I'll do that, and then I'll come back and I'll show you guys what it looks like done. So I'm back and I was able to finish it. So this is what it is looking like done. It does need to be blocked, but this is what it looks like on. And I'm hoping, with all the hopes that I can hope, that blocking it is going to make it longer, because this is a little ridiculous. So I'm going to block it, hoping that everything stretches out and relaxes and stretches out so that it can look the way that I want it to. And I'll definitely come back and check in with you guys to show you what it looks like once it's done blocking and once it's done fully. But yeah, this is what it looks like before blocking. All the seams, all the ends, everything that needed to be weaved in have been weaved in. This is the front and this is the back. So yeah, I'm gonna get to blocking and you guys will see the results now. And here it is, the completed project. It has been blocked. The sleeves are a little shorter than what I was expecting them to be, but I'll definitely make the chain longer the next time I make this. I like the way that this one turned out, so I'm just gonna keep it. And yeah, here's the completed bolero with the mesh pattern. It's super perfectly breathable. This is gonna go over everything I'm wearing now, so I'm definitely gonna have to make another one. But this is the completed project. And I love it. I'm so happy. And I'm so happy you guys joined me in this week's video. I hope you were able to enjoy whatever you made. And if you made a bolero as well, don't forget to tag me in your picture over on TikTok or on Instagram at chaoticgirl_crafts. And like always, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.